Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. As always, my name is Selene and Happy New Year. We finally made it to 2021. I apologize for my hiatus that I certainly wasn't planning on taking, but needless to say, last year was 2020. It was an exceptionally rough year on all of us. My family was certainly no exception to that. So I really needed to take some time to myself, get myself sorted out, and I'm back. Hopefully I will be posting more regularly. And seeing as we are starting off a new year, I wanted to share a journaling process that I did, and I think it could benefit some people if you decide to try it out for yourself. There are really two things that sort of inspired me to do this journal. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen the advertisements or the longer videos for a place called mindvalley.com. I've seen them, but I've never participated in one of their courses, so I apologize. But I saw an advert for a program called LifeBook, and I did kind of like the idea. Granted, I don't really know all that much about it. All I understand is that they take a look at your life in 12 different sections, and ultimately the 12 sections are all I know. I will post a link to a little handout that I found for this program. Essentially what it is it's a PDF of, reminds me of when my high school teachers or my uni professors would print a handout for you to fill in as you're note-taking as you are going through a lecture. That's kind of what this PDF reminds me of. I suppose if you do want to do the LifeBook program, go to mindvalley.com. Again, I haven't done it. I don't know all that much about it. Admittedly, I really just pilfered the 12 sections of my life to do this journaling. And also another thing that really influenced me with this journaling was I didn't want to create another list of resolutions that I knew were ultimately not going to come to fruition. So I did something a lot different. So let me just kind of walk you through what I did, and between the process that I came up with and the elements of this LifeBook program that I took, maybe it'll help you out or inspire you to come up with your own method for this New Year's journaling. So first thing is, I've actually had this notebook for many years, but I've never really done anything with it, so it actually felt really nice to be able to give this journal notebook a little bit of a purpose in and of itself. It's a Cambridge journal or notebook, whichever. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. And what I did was I basically I chose a quote that really exemplified what I want to encapsulate this year of 2020. If you hear any shuffling around on camera, that's my dog, so don't worry about him. I chose Audentes Fortuna Juiat, which is Latin for fortune favors the bold, or fortune favors the brave. I studied Latin in university, and ever since my school days, it really has been my favorite quote, and it's been something that I've tried to incorporate in my life, but it's certainly felt more meaningful for this year after I think collectively a great many of us feel as if 2020 was stolen from us, because it was. Let's be real honest. It was a year that was taken away from most of us. So after such a dumpster fire of a year, I'm not really willing to sit around and let my life tick me by. So yeah, basically I'm embracing fortune favors the bold. If we take a look inside, I did go ahead and find, of course, a English translation of that along with a lion. I am a Leo, and I'll be honest with you, my zodiac sign has always been something that I've been very happy with, mainly because a lion is just one of my favorite animals in general. You know, I'm a huge fan of the movie The Lion King. I can't help that. So I went ahead and I popped him right there. And I think as, you know, this journal kind of progresses, I might go ahead and put some other pictures here for things that inspire me. But moving along, of course this is Cambridge notebook, so you've got all the months and then the days of the month here, so it's nice, you can just circle them real quick. And I titled my first page Carpe Diem, which is of course seize the day, you know, pluck the day when it's ripe, enjoy the moment. And that to me felt like the most logical way to gain the very broad expanse of fortune favors the bold. You know, a lot of what I did throughout this entire journaling process was essentially break down everything that I want to do. And a lot of it had to do more with a change in mindset, which is essentially what this entire page is. You know, this is a lot of my intentions for the year, but it's all very mindset based, because if I don't change the way I think, it's going to be harder to change the way I act, and then it'll be harder to see any kind of change or progress in my life. So I did go ahead and, you know, write down some intentions. I don't mind sharing them on camera. You know, if you guys can possibly read my chicken scratch writing, I doubt you can. But I'll read the last two, because I think these are important ones to share, and also they can kind of give you an idea of what I mean by having very internally based intentions for my year, and therefore changing my life. So I will stay true to myself as best I understand myself. I am constantly growing and evolving. I accept these changes. Being my authentic self may appear contradictory at times, for my experiences will change how I understand the world. I accept that. I am willing and eager to keep learning and growing. And then this one is, it is my responsibility to be the best version of myself, and for the world. And with the little LifeBook PDF that I mentioned, I did go ahead and pilfer this quote of, your life vision becomes your North Star. Let me go ahead and show you a little bit more. So this was kind of my beginning guide, but I have to say, throughout this entire process, there was a lot of introspection that I had to do. It was a great deal of processing the past year, but also just many large life experiences that I've had outside of last year, and really sitting with them, thinking about them, internalizing them, and then incorporating them into not only the person I want to be, but the kind of future I want to have. I'm not going to show you this page because I do have some personal info that I would rather keep to myself. But the sections are health and fitness, intellectual, emotional, character, spirituality. We have spirituality, love relationship, parenting, social life, financial, career, quality of life, and life vision. So I'm going to be honest and say that this year I was fortunate enough to have a New Year's Day off, and I thought, okay, I can just go ahead and, spend a little bit of the afternoon journaling, just sort of, literally start the new year, taking some time out of the day and doing this to set myself up for success for the next 12 months. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this won't take a long time. This honestly took me hours because I had to really think before I wrote anything. I suppose if you want to do a little bit more of stream of consciousness, that would probably make it a little bit easier, but I was exceptionally careful with my words. And not only that, but like I said, I don't know the LifeBook program, I just used the categories. So what I did for my personal journaling process for the new year was I went ahead and set my intention, but I dove deeper into why. Delving into why actually made them much more solid in my mind, and essentially what this allowed me to do was declutter my mind. And by decluttering my mind, it was much easier to work through everything that I've been through, especially within the past year, but even beyond that, because we all have various life situations that certainly take a little bit of time to get over. It was able to give me perspective. It was able to allow me to take my own life experiences, a lot of the psychology information that I have been learning recently. There's a Canadian psychologist, he's fantastic. A lot of his lectures, his work is something that I am certainly using in bettering my life. I have to say his lectures on depression have truthfully been life-saving to me. So I really am a fan of his work. And so, all of that sort of intellectual knowledge that I've been gathering from his lectures on psychology, I've actually been able to internalize them and begin to use them and understand how they all fit within the context of my life. There are certain areas within these 12 sections of my life that, I'll be quite frank with you, some of them are not things that I am necessarily striving for. They're not things that necessarily mean a whole lot to me at the moment. But it was actually really important to sit there and work through them, because first of all, it expanded my own mental and emotional limits. It sort of it kind of stretched the elastic of my mind. Even if certain topics within your life seem like they would be redundant throughout this, my biggest recommendation is to do them, because you will actually learn so much more about yourself. You're going to learn much more about your own moral compass in a way, really, because this forces you to look at your own values, and essentially it helps me take on the responsibility, like I said here. It helps me have a guide to how to be the best version of myself. Because if I can help myself, then eventually I can help others. Today, I'm actually filming this on January 2nd, and I will hopefully be uploading it tonight. But having gotten all this out on the first day of the year, and just sort of navigating throughout my day today, I feel lighter, I feel more hopeful, and I feel stronger, because I do know what I need to do in order to transform the person I am, transform my life. And if each one of us can do that, then it can inspire others to do it. And if these desires to change can be sparked naturally within people, then the change will be meaningful, and it will be lasting, and it will be magnificent. We are finally in the new year, and I think that if we each take some time, especially because we're still, a lot of us at least, are still in a position to where we have this time to do self-reflection, do it. Do it now, at the beginning of something that could be great if we let it. And this year, I think it's time for each of us to seize every day, because we're not going to be around forever. And I don't think we should sit by and watch our lives just drift away. I certainly don't want to do that. So perhaps this journaling process might be good inspiration for different folks to figure out how to do that. I know it certainly was for me. I genuinely wish that you and your family do well this year. Take some time to be kind to yourself. And remember that our lives are as good as we want to make them. So, with that said, all my love, Happy New Year, and of course, Ave Ba, Ave Satanas. Bye for now.